The Poonaverse continues with Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. This is what, the third movie now in the officially named Poonaverse, or the Twisted Childhood universe. I gotta give these guys credit for creating this universe, because I know they get a lot of shit for the first Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie, but I really like how they flip things with the sequel, and now you kind of get a better sense of um, the direction that they want to go with this whole entire universe. It seems absurd, but I really dig what they're doing so far, what they have shown as far as with the Winnie the Pooh stuff, teasing Bambi, also sticking with like an animatronic Pinocchio, which I'm really excited about. Bambi and Pinocchio are still the ones that I'm the most excited about to see. I don't think that Poonaverse movie is going to drop in 2025, because it's a lot of movies, man. I would say they should push that Poonaverse movie to 2026, maybe January. They could really dominate with these movies, and the production quality has definitely gone up. I would say out of the three movies, I would say this has the obvious biggest production bump. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 was good too, but I really like what they did here. So continuing with the trend of, turning certain characters, beloved Disney characters, into just homicidal maniacs or like serial killers, we got Peter Pan. And I've been saying this, and anybody that's been following my channel for a very long time, I've always said I would always like to make a Peter Pan movie. Not quite what they did here, even though that's not to say anything like discouraging about the movie. I always thought the premise of Peter Pan was always creepy, so it's just like, it's perfect. It's perfect that they made this into a horror movie, and it fits into this whole entire universe. And for those that don't know, that the main villain of the Poonaverse movie is going to be Peter Pan, so I think it was a smart decision to kind of give us this movie. I still don't understand why they only have a 3-day release window in theaters. They should want to just at least get like a week or three in theaters, because I definitely think that they have something here with these movies. So to kind of talk about the story real quick, to kind of get into things without going to heavy spoilers in case people want to go check this out for themselves, I really like the depiction of Peter Pan in this. Like, it starts off as in the circus. Obviously, he's snatching up kids, and the way he snatches up kids is just really fucking creepy as hell, and makes you definitely think that there's like a supernatural element to Peter Pan. Like, is he himself supernatural? Is there something else kind of helping him get to certain places at convenient times? It's really weird how he pops up, but it's a good weird, because it's like, it makes him unpredictable, because he doesn't really hide in the shadows. He very much makes himself known. He doesn't care how many people see him. There's definitely vibes from the Grabber from the Black Phone. I think he's a little bit more sadistic in this, and how he snatches up kids and how he goes about it. When I first saw the opening scene, it definitely gave me like Arthur Fleck Joker vibes, just the face paint and all that, the mannerisms. There's a lot of different vibes I was getting from this, but mostly, the Grabber from the Black Phone. I don't think everybody's going to sit there and say that this movie was better than the Black Phone, but I think some of the execution as far as how they deal with how fucked up this version of Peter Pan is more effective than the Grabber, for sure. Like, you definitely gotta be on your P's and Q's, because he will snatch your kid up like it's nothing. So I like the introduction that we get to his character and how he goes about snatching up kids. Then we get introduced to Wendy's character, that's played by Megan Placido. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I think she is a fantastic final girl in this movie, and just what she kind of brings to the role is very different from other portrayals of Wendy. Obviously, you have to kind of separate the two, but I like the twist on these different characters that we get introduced to. And so Wendy has a brother named Michael. Michael obviously is having a hard time at school, getting picked on. He likes this other boy in school, um, but that gets kind of cut short because while he's waiting for his sister to kind of pick him up, she just gets distracted, and then poof, he ends up getting snatched up. And now it becomes this whole kind of trying to find Michael, what happened to him before Peter is able to take all these kids to Neverland. And man, it's a really interesting psychological twist on the character of Peter Pan, because his character himself just takes the fairy tale of Peter Pan and twists it to his own kind of benefit, and how he targets little kids, or he might use some of these kids for the long term, and how we get even a Hook in this, or we get Tinkerbell, where we found out that Tinkerbell in this, when I first heard that Tinkerbell was going to be a trans drug addict, I immediately laughed, because I was like, no way. And all those characters that you saw in the poster obviously are going to probably look altered by the time we see the final, versions of them. But I always thought that was funny. But they actually do something interesting with the Tinkerbell character, a little on the nose. I found that to be kind of funny, but I think they do something really interesting. I'm not going to spoil what that is, but and it's especially what they do with Hook is fascinating as well. And it makes sense that this would be Pooh's main villain, because I don't think Pooh is really with murking kids or just bringing harm to children. I don't think he's really going to be on the side of that. They didn't really show how that's going to tie in to the bigger overall scheme of things when it comes to the Pooniverse, but I'm still locked in and really fascinated by this, and I thought this had pretty interesting performances all the way through. Some really dope practical war, no CGI or none of that stuff. Like, just a lot of interesting things that they're doing with these characters, and I can't wait to see what they do next, like with Bambi, like I said, or just with Pinocchio. I think that's going to be the one that's going to be really a banger. But I do wish that they would put these in theaters for a little bit longer. They don't need to drop the Pooniverse movie this year, but maybe they have just everything kind of planned out and they're able to just get things out on schedule and everything's fine. But I would rather them just hold off, drop that shit in the top of next year or something like that, to kind of get the ball rolling, because that's going to be a huge year for movies as well. But I would definitely recommend checking this out. As I'm making this, there's only like 2 nights left before they take it out of theaters, unfortunately. So you only have tomorrow and Wednesday. Maybe they'll do a re-release if there's a little bit more anticipation. I don't think they were expecting there to be a large demand for this movie, so maybe that's why they did the limited release. Whatever, I'm down for whatever they do next, though. Hopefully we get Bambi sooner than later, because I really want to see what they do with that. But if you get around to checking this movie out, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.